the Sumo Show, the weekly podcast that discusses everything that's going on in Japanese Grand Sumo. Whether you've been steeped in sumo lore since the Heisei era, like me, Stan, or you're a dedicated fan who wants to get deeper into what's happening on and off the dojo, or brand new to the world of sumo and just want to learn what it's all about, like our good friend Troy, no matter how much you know about the sport, the Sumo Show has something for you. So let's throw some purifying salt into the ring, do a few big Shiko foot stomps, and see what's new on this week's episode of the Sumo Show. So konnichiwa, everyone! And Okaidi, welcome back to my co-host, Troy.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello,
Okaidi, welcome back.
you. Oh,
Welcome
Kaidi.
home.
Yeah, welcome home to this Sumo Show, where you live.
Where you live, where you spend all of your time. Well, how you doing this fine week, my friend Troy?
Well, I think I'm doing, here in Seattle, it got warm.
It went. You know what? The weather has gotten into the. It
The
can't make up its
apocalyptic-
mind. The
yeah.
phase where it just kind of flips back and forth randomly.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it was fall cool. It was mid fall cool last week and last weekend, and it just flipped over the switch to middle of the summer hot.
Yeah, wild. And for us here in Seattle, it's, you hit 75, 80 degrees, and there's going to be some very cranky.
Yeah.
We just don't have AC in Seattle.
It's been outlawed.
Yeah, it has been. Yeah.
They lost the recipe. They lost
the recipe for ice.
Though apparently, it was around 100 in Portland today.
It really was. I mean, we're just not equipped for that. We just do not have the things that are required to survive that. We in the Northwest, because we are so soggy and mossy,
right?
We have no sweat glands. We just express through moss.
Gills, and that doesn't work.
It does not work. No. So yeah. But other than that, I'm doing okay. I feel like I feel ready for, at least in some kind of spiritual way, some sumo.
Are you ready for some sumo?
Yes.
Now ABC and ESPN are going to sue me. Sorry.
Well,
not to have NHK mad at me.
Yeah, let's just go country by country. Pick the biggest broadcaster and challenge them to a fight. Hey, guess what? We are, in fact, live on Facebook.
All right.
Yeah.
Because that was giving us a little gas before.
Always the agita.
Yeah.
But we made it through, Stan. We made it through.
Woo! We are on.
Facebook could put us under.
Sumo Show is on the air.
Hey, if the sumo thing doesn't work for us, we could have a good career in the morning zoo. Sound effects and lots of fart jokes and things.
Except for having to get up early thing. You know what I think I'd want to do?
An afternoon zoo?
No, I think I'd want to do a morning zoo in the East Coast, but live here on the West Coast. So I just stay up late. Because I can stay up late.
So you would come in from the other side,
right?
Rather than you'd take the overnight, but you would be the early morning zoo,
right?
Yeah, okay, all right. Well, I'm in. Let's talk to our agents and see what they can line up for us.
Yeah,
those New Yorkers aren't going to know what hit them. I'm walking here.
Hey,
what about it?
Forget about it.
Forget about it. All right. Well, so what's going on in the world of sumo?
Well, the next tournament, the Aki Basho, in fact, the fall Grand Sumo tournament, is going to be starting in just 2 days, this Sunday.
Okay.
And we've got, of course, we here at the Sumo Show have our Fantasy Oyakata game all set up to play.
Our patented Fantasy Oyakata.
And almost no one has joined. So I'm going to hit this a couple of times during the show here.
Yeah.
Please, go to our, I don't know, how do we post that thing?
Give me the link, or you give the link, and then.
Yeah, the problem is that they don't give us a convenient link. Let me see. This may be it in my private chat to you. Yes, that is it.
Nice.
Yes, we have only 3 people who have signed up to
Ah,
play, and
hey,
I'm one of them.
oh, hey,
You
David
know what?
Lemon.
You know
Good
what?
to
So
see you,
far,
friend.
Troy, you're not one of them.
I did you so listen. I'm being very thoughtful about my I've got a lot riding on this.
I'm
And
embarrassing you publicly, is what I'm doing here.
no, please, it would take. Now, what
David
happened? But
Lemon has signed up. He's in there.
what the hairy heck happened to this link?
It got
You,
long
you gave me
because
the nice small one, and then I pasted it, and it turned into
the
this
yeah.
long
I
weird
don't
one.
know. I don't.
Well,
Yeah.
long and weird it may be. Click it will as well.
It will be. It's the same thing. I got the shortened version of the long.
So weird. Yeah. Um, Far be it for us to expect that things operate as one would, presume. So hey, now do we start? A question for you: do we start the glazing, the dripping, the dousing of the expeller pressed oils now, or do we wait until the? I've
I
lost
don't.
the
Yeah,
thread.
yeah. I don't like the glazing or the dripping.
None of that sounds good. It really
Dousing,
doesn't.
I guess I could take with, but
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, I don't like any of it. And yet, look at the words coming out of my mouth. Yeah, so we're gonna Thunderdome in the Sumo Thunderdome of Fire and Pain, and then we'll see who the next
I
Fantasy
feel like I'm
Oyakata.
already there.
You're like all this pain,
Yeah.
all this pain, and I'm so oily. I dropped the link over on our Facebook group because that's also a place that you, friend, listening, friend of the show, want to avail yourself of, which is a whole gathering of people that are just hanging out. And how many? You know how many members we have?
One more than last week.
124.
Woohoo!
That's not nothing.
It's not nothing.
It happens
It's
to be
124.
That's right, and it happens to be a collection of some of our favorite people just on
Yeah.
the globe, all assembled to partake in the sumo show.
Talk about sumo.
Yeah, we're very flattered to have you on the Facebook page, and of course listening to every word that I'm saying. No doubt. Thank you for that. So yeah, make sure you go over there. You'll see the link to the Fantasy Oyakata. So get your stuff together, people.
Yeah.
We don't need to
Well,
be.
it doesn't. It costs. It's free.
Yeah,
There's no charge to enter, and you can win absolutely nothing except pride at having won.
that's right. Don't make Stan ask again.
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry, okay?
Yeah, I mean, you don't really get angry. You do get a little like, okay, come on, dummy, get in here and do it. Hey, he's talking to me, not you, dear listener. You aren't. I am the dummy in this equation. But yeah. Head over to the Facebook group. Just say hi. Don't make Stan ask again. You'll see the message, the menacing. He will come to your house and oyakata you. But it's real
And
simple, right?
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not as painless as it sounds.
No, it actually sounds a little painful, honestly. Truth be told. But okay, cool. So Fantasy Oyakata, and then what?
Yes. Hmm.
And I'm wondering if there's any news of the realm, any sort of updates on people or people in. Are they out? Are they?
There are. That's what. In fact, we're going to be talking about it.
Okay.
That's what we're going to be talking about today.
I love
Is the tournament's coming up?
Mhm.
We'll go over. I'm gonna. You know what? I am going to
Do it.
swap out what I have on my. Can I do that?
I think you can. Yeah, you can do it. How do you do it? I think we have to.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
I'm going to replace. Here we go.
Nice.
And we're going to look at the Bazuke like we did last week and go over it much more quickly.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Where hast thou plopped it? Did you plop it on the share screen?
I think I swapped it on. I think I swapped it.
Looks. Well, we'll do this real quick. I think it's gonna. Oh yeah, it did. It's just showing on the share screen. The other thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. So this is the Bazuke as it looks on the official Sumo Association app.
Mm-hmm.
And these are our fine going all the way up from Yokozuna down to Maegashira 17. This is our top division.
Nice.
And so we went over this before, so don't have to go over it in detail. But let's kind of peruse through and see what news of the week occurs to me as I'm looking at this. The
Yeah, and then
first
maybe
one is
even tie it to our Fantasy Oyakata too, because some people might have missed a memo or two.
right, right. Well, I mean, this is so in the Fantasy Oyakata game, you're asked to pick people at various levels along this Bazuke. I'm going to talk to you about some people who you may not want to pick.
I like it.
And of
See,
course, and I'll name a few that I think are maybe good picks. Um, there's always lots of more good choices than bad choices.
true.
Well,
And honestly, though, people will never find this kind of
yeah,
of velvet glove care, top notch, sumoliering anywhere else but here.
that's true. No, this is the one, and you in Europe, you got to pay a lot for this kind of treatment.
That's very true. That's very true.
So Teruno Fuji, our Yokozuna, out, not of wrestling. This really comes as no surprise. We talked about it last week that he was not in good shape physically and wasn't practicing hard, and it really seemed like he probably wasn't going to.
Now, is he ostensibly just taking?
He's taking the
tournament off because he heard from others that hey, maybe don't go too far away from.
Well, I mean, well, they still don't want him to quit, but no one's pushing him to succeed or retire, particularly because he won the last tournament.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. He did soundly.
So his ankles are still hurting him. He hasn't been able to practice. His diabetes is acting up.
Oh gosh.
And just all around not doing great right now, and so he's taking the tournament off. So no Yokozuna.
I hope that spiritually he's ending it on that note. Let's just say, like, he did the thing that he wanted to do, and that is go out on the high note. And now,
if he wanted to end it on that note, he wouldn't. He would just say, I'm retiring. He wouldn't play it out. Right now, he's got to at least come back for one more tournament to try.
Oh boy, yeah.
And maybe his plan is to come in and be so hurt that he has to retire, but it can't be. He's got to be thinking about going and getting another U show.
It just doesn't sound like. I mean,
what does that do to you when you're the best, right? I know I'm hurt and I'm in pain and this, but no one's better than me.
I wonder if there's a piece of this I know that they need me.
Yeah,
they need me, and so I'm going to persevere. It's my honor, my
that is certainly a part of this. Anyway, he is out. Kotozakura, there, the first Ozeki we see on the list, has been suffering some pains, and however, he's in pretty good shape. His back hurts him a little, but he came back from that and did a bunch of practice. The big thing was he twisted his ankle when he was coming back from a couple of days off from the back. He came back and twisted his ankle and had to sit out for like 2 matches before getting up and fighting again. There's a lot of worry about that ankle, and he says, "No, I tweaked it. I'm never going to be 100%. It's sumo.
Don't baby me." And yeah.
Hoshoryu has not done a lot of practicing, although here, actually, in the tail end of this week, he did a bunch of going to other stables to practice and seemed to be doing okay. I think he's set for one of his average bashos, which means about 10 wins.
Gotcha. Yeah.
He doesn't seem like he's on a big groove, and he's still also coming off that hip injury. So Abi is hurt his back so badly he thought he was going to have to retire.
What?
We talked about this last week.
We did. That's right.
Yeah, but he's still he hasn't hurt it again. He's back and recovering, but that to me tells me I'm not betting on him to win the tournament. So far, Kotozakura is the best bet, and Onosato. So I guess in our top choice,
Hmm.
I think Kotosaka is the only sane choice.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Terunofuji's out. If he was in it all, he's always you can always take an outside bet that he'll just muscle through and win, but
yeah.
he's out. So it's basically it's Koto Sakura or Hoshoryu, and I just yeah
I do feel real badly for Hoshoryu. You just presume that he's going to be fiery, kind of mid-range fiery performing guy, and with all those facial expressions and
yeah.
stuff, like it's I guess I didn't expect for him to be on the list of injured.
I mean, he's not really. He's just and he's coming back from injury. He,
Mhm.
he's and he's doing fine.
Okay,
He's not really looking fired up. And
got
I
it.
never trust someone who's just coming back from injury.
Yeah,
There's
that's
always
right.
there's always
A
a
little bit of a wild card.
shakedown cruise.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you could pick Hoshoryu, hmm, uh,
I wouldn't.
but I wouldn't. I didn't. I picked Kotozakura. Do not pick Terunofuji.
Yeah, don't.
One person on who of our three already has and should go back and change it because if you put your guesses in, you have until tomorrow noon to change your guesses too. So
Well, that's just marvelous.
that is in fact marvelous. Oh yeah. So in our Sekiwake, in our Sanyaku level rank, we got Abi, as we said, is back is bothering him. Onosato, the young guy who's done very well and had his last tournament was his worst tournament so far, and he still wound up with 9 wins.
That's not bad. Yeah, yeah,
Right,
yeah.
and he got called out for. We talked about this last week too. He got called out for special treatment, uh, as in chewing out by the coaches during practice. That's special treatment. Um, that he's got to work harder and he's got to do more than just push.
Yeah, I guess I hadn't really noticed that. I mean, that's a thing that happens.
Yeah.
There's so much going on with sumo. Sometimes I miss the finer points, but it just seems like quite a slap to be admonished. It's public, I guess.
It's well,
It's
semi-public.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
public enough that people it know when something happens privately, no one talks about it. So
yeah.
we're talking about it. It's public. It didn't happen in front of the public, but it happened at the
Right,
all tournament at all rikishi practice session. And so it wasn't just his coach; it was all the coaches. Like any
right.
one of the coaches who were there can offer their advice, and several of them did.
To anybody in
Anybody there who's doing it. I mean,
wow.
they don't have to listen to you, but they have to be respectful. And news gets around. Oh, this uh this Oyakata was yelling at so and so. And if he's way out of line, then that's what the newspapers will print. It's like, what is that Oyakata thinking? Why is he being such a jerk? Or it'll be like, what, a bunch of Oyakatas came up to this guy and told him, you gotta straighten up. You gotta do this thing. You want to be a champion? You're not fit to be a champion yet, my bucko.
Jeez, sounds like Thanksgiving.
Every day is Thanksgiving in the sumo world. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
so I don't know. I think Onosato's got a really good shot. He's first of all, he's young. He's got a lot. He's really good. Right?
yeah.
He's won a special prize in every one of his top division tournaments. He's finished second once or twice, and he's motivated now that people have kind of. And he was motivated already, but he seems like to me the kind of guy that when you do that to him publicly, he's going to step up to show you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm that's what I'm expecting from this, and that's why they do it, right?
And that's the culture. Yeah, okay. I
So
definitely.
I think he's going to show us stuff we haven't seen yet.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I am looking. It's time to be forged into the steel to become the
In theory,
Ozeki. Yeah.
if he gets 12 wins, well, not even in theory, if he gets 12 wins, I think it's been said, if he can get 12 wins and win the tournament, he's going to get his Ozeki promotion.
Yeah.
He's there already. So,
and they did try to make it harder for him, right? I mean, they did. They gave him the challenges, they did the stuff, and he still did it. Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. I have a feeling that he's going to respond, and if he does win the tournament, then he's going to be Ozeki in November in Kyushu.
All right.
Kirishima?
You heard it here first. Oh yeah, Kirishima. Yeah.
I heard it somewhere else, but you heard it here first. Kirishima is apparently doing well and talking about. He's talking about getting his Ozeki rank back. He said to a reporter this week that he thinks that he's ready right now to win 33 times over the next 3 tournaments.
Okay, buddy.
He's going to, dive right into it. He hasn't gotten the start because he only got 9 wins last time. So no one's considers him on an Ozeki run at the moment. But he's sitting there saying, "Yeah, my goal is to get 33 wins over the next 3 tournaments and be Ozeki again in March."
Yeah, not beyond the possibility of. Yeah, cool.
Certainly feasible as long as his neck is actually okay.
Yeah,
That's the problem. His injury is one of those ones that, once it heals up, right, he'll be back. He'll be fine. He's got nothing else wrong with him. But it's also one of the ones that you just hit him the wrong way, and he can drop and be useless for 2 months.
Necks are famously the workhorse of the whatever. Yeah, no, that's like your neck goes bad. That's a bad place to be. Yeah.
Speaking of people with bad necks, next we're going to look at Taki Basho, who is down at Sekiwake. He failed last time when he was Kataban, and he has not had any practice bouts because he hasn't been healthy enough to go in and do practice bouts. And he needs 10 wins in order to get his Ozeki rank back.
Ooh.
I would. Yeah, this is going to be it for him.
We talked a little bit about that. Yeah.
One of the guys whose videos I linked to on the Facebook group, guy named Mr. J Wags. His hot take in his preview is that Taki Basho isn't going to get 5 wins. He's not only is he not going to get 10, he's not going to get 5, and so he's this is it for sure, because not only would he then not get it back, he also wouldn't keep Sekiwake, and he would drop out of the Sanyaku. He's just retire. And the press has been noting that he already has elder stock.
Oh.
They're bringing that up and mentioning it, which kind of leads me to believe that this is their way of hinting that he has told them in a, this is off the record way that he's getting ready to retire. They can't say that, but they can mention,
look at that elder stock.
Whatever happens to him, if the worst happens, he already has elder stock.
Yeah.
So he's set, and I think this is going to be. I think those of you who like, as some folks call him, the battle hamster, Basho fans, enjoy anything he does good this tournament, because I really do think that this is going to be it for him.
I have only I've never heard the battle hamster, but I like that, the battle hamster. That's great.
Daisho and Hiradoumi, both at Komusubi, both had winning records last time at Komusubi. They seem set to kind of hang out there and do that again. The question is, Hiradoumi, of course, has a fighting style like Taki Basho's, and once people figure that out, if you aren't as good as Taki Basho, you just don't have a way beat them at this level. You wind up getting smacked down. It's just not. You have to be one of the all-time best to hold on to a Sanyaku rank as a big pusher thruster. And I don't think Hiradomi is one of the all-time best. I think he's really good. And made some point the last week or two, saying kind of mea culpaing that I haven't given him his due a lot. He's been doing really well, and I like him, and he's super talented, but he's not that talented.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then we look at that, and that means our reasonable, our unhurt, our unwounded currently choices in the Sanyaku level are Onosato, Kirishima, and Daisho. Oh, and Hiradomi. So,
What do we think Hiradomi is going to do?
honestly, I don't think he's going to do great this tournament, but he's surprised me the last two or three, and when we're a little wobbly here at the top, so he could do quite well. I'm still not gonna. I'm not betting on him doing well. I know at least one person is, and it's not unreasonable, right? He has shown nothing to make you second guess him, to make one second guess him.
Right.
But I just think he has hit his ceiling. Prove me wrong, Hiradomi, please. It'll be very entertaining.
It's your time to do it. It's your time to shine.
And then we get to the Maegashira 1 to 5, the upper Maegashira. Here's another where Mr. J Wags and his hot take was that only Wakamoto Haru and maybe Tobizaru in the top 5 are going to have winning records. Thinks that all these people are going to have losing records this time.
Wow.
And I'm kind of hot on Atami. I think Atami Fuji is learning his lesson. I think that Makikoshi last time he thought he'd figured it out and he hadn't, and I think he has. I think now he's going to turn it around, and we're going to see the Atami Fuji we saw a year ago at this time, and he's going to start his march back up to settling into Sanyaku eventually. But what the heck do I know? I finished last time.
Well, your first time winning last, I guess.
Yes.
I mean, breaking
I'm
ground.
being self-deprecating so that when I win again, it looks good.
Right, I like that.
There's our Shodai there at Maegashira 4, totally primed to either suck it up into a little ball like he always has, or prove us wrong and contend for the Yusho out of nowhere.
And don't you just know he's gonna? I bet he goes somewhere. I have not been able to think of anything else, but that this is the time that Shota is going to do a thing.
I think he's going to suck it up into a little Shodai ball.
That's all evidence points to the very same.
But you never know. What do we got here? Scrolling down, Wakataka Kage there at Maegashira 7 is on his comeback and is looking really good. And he got to fight some of the upper level guys last time and showed that he's ready to do it already. So I think his week 1 is going to be a good warm up, and then in week 2 they're going to unleash him on a battered and bruised top of the Bonsai.
Yeah, he's going to clean a house.
I think he's going to be in the Yusho hunt.
Yeah,
I'm not sure I would predict him to win it, but I think he is one of those people. He has won a Yusho once back before his injury, and that was when he was on the cusp of everyone saying, "Well, maybe he's ready for Ozeki." Injury smacked him down.
Yeah,
but
what were his injuries again? What did he?
It was a knee injury, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's back and back up at Maegashira 7. Like I say, low enough that his first week is going to be filled with. I mean, he's not getting suckers like he did last time, but
Right.
he's getting run of the mill people when he is getting himself ready for top level performance.
Got it. So we're
So,
ready to see him vault
yeah,
upwards from his current position at Magashira
yeah.
7.
Let's see other folks here. Tamawashi, number 10, we talked about last week. As long as he does not break his leg in the first 2 days, he will
Jeez.
set an all-time record for most tournaments in a row uh, without missing any for injury, not having gone Kyujo. Um, so good on you. As one of the pundits was saying, yeah, he needs to, his leg needs to fall off for him not to show up for 3 days.
Right.
That'd
Yeah,
be
well,
so bad
gosh.
that he cannot climb the dohyo. He will
Right.
be there.
He will crawl his way across the floor. Yeah, good for him. I will say that the perfect attendance kid was always a little insufferable.
Yeah.
But,
What are you gonna do?
what are you going to do?
Yeah, Roga there at Maegashira 10. Is he ready to finally start
Is he?
really? I mean, he got his Kachikoshi for the first time
Yeah.
last time. Uh, is he ready to start performing like everyone has kind of expected him to? Interesting question. Maegashira 10, certainly a place where you have half of your opponents are going to be, in the lower part of the division. So that's a good place to, your particularly difficult matches when they come up, and you can really, and if you are of a mind, and I've met people in sports, professional sports, who've thought this way of, like, I know I'm going to have to lose a few. I'll pick them to be these ones where I'm probably going to lose anyway, and save my energy so I can beat the heck out of these other guys who I
Right.
have a really good chance of beating. Not a lot. I have to say, I haven't met a lot of professional sports people who think about that. Mostly they want to win everything they ever touch. But,
That's right.
sumo has some zero-sum thinking sometimes.
Right.
And we get down here near the bottom. God, I hope Takayasu is healthy enough to get back in it, to fight a whole tournament and get a winning score. Man, he
Yeah.
is just so unlucky. I don't know. And there above him, though, at Maegashira 14, though, Onokatsu is a guy. He was one of Onosato's. He was Onosato's main rival in college sumo, and
That's right.
he's
Yeah.
earned his way up. He just had a top knot for the first time in some ceremony this week. It's not the full fancy kind. His hair is finally grown long enough that he can do even a little baby top knot. So he's
Exciting.
coming in, and ranked here at Maegashira 14. He's with these other people who are hanging on by a thread, and he is getting ready to rock it up. So he's someone to keep an eye on as a possible choice down here, and an outside shot at being in the Yusho hunt. I don't think. I don't know. I don't know what he'll do when he's faced with the top level competition.
Yeah.
If he's doing well, they'll bump him up for that. We saw when that happened to Onosato. He immediately stepped up to the plate and took care of it. And look at where he is. Onokatsu could be cut from the same cloth. This is where we'll find out if he does well in his first week. But certainly someone to watch.
We'll be watching.
We will. I will.
I'll be watching in spirit.
Right. So that is a quick run down the Banzuke again. See, I didn't want to linger too long. We spent an hour doing it last time. But worth looking at all that. There's a lot of things going on. Anyone in the chat has any questions about particular rikishi they wanted to pose, happy to talk about that.
Trouble
If you're
watching
watching
on
this on replay, you can
Facebook.
post that in the Facebook group too, and we'll answer it there.
Hey, tell me what kind of trouble you're having on Facebook. I believe that was Dale.
David said trouble watching on
Oh,
Facebook.
Dave did? Oh, sorry. Yes, sorry. I got my D dudes mixed up. No, I'm seeing it.
Well,
I literally am seeing us talk about Dale or David.
Dale
Trouble
or
watching.
David?
Oh, David. Oh, sorry. Yes, sorry. I got my D
Oh,
dudes
no,
mixed up.
oh my God, it's head echo.
Yeah. No, I've got it muted, but yeah.
So, yeah. So take that off screen for a sec.
I will do so. And you do.
David Lemon is hanging. He's hanging.
Hanging tough. Hi, David Lemon.
And then while we continue to chat, I'm going to switch my screen again.
Okie dokes.
So yeah, it's gonna be good. Good tournament, I think. We once again, though, as that discussion showed, the top of our Bonzuke is not rock solid, and but I do think that our winner this time is going to come from the Sanyaku. Which one was Onosato's high school buddy? That is Onokatsu. Right?
I love the rivalry. I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of energy that brings to the whole.
I'm still looking for that and for Hakuoho to get back in the mix. And the three of them, right? Onosato, Onokatsu, and Hakuoho, I think may be our next big time Ozeki Yokozuna rivalry. I mean,
yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I really do. I especially love the competition at that level is just so elite, and so it would be very good sumo to watch.
Indeed, do. So the other thing that we want to take a look at here is the Fred Pink chart, which
sure we
came
do.
up. And
we love this chart.
We do.
We're about ready to call the reinforcements because Fred got it out just a little bit late, but it's looking good, and it's a very interesting shape. This.
Yeah. Fred Pinkerton, who was our guest once, and we are still very thankful for that.
Does
this before every tournament. He shows what happened in the last two tournaments, and these little green and dotted red lines show you who's going up and who's going down. The green stripes on names show you who had a kachikoji, and other little bits of info are in there.
I mean, Tobizaru. Oh no, that's not Tobizaru. That's I just saw that very precipitous fall, but that's Tobizaru. Who is that?
Takayasu.
Okay. A little hard for me to read, but yeah.
Takayasu only fought 3 matches or 2.
Yeah.
It was 0-2 and 13. So he only fought 1 match. Right? That second loss is the loss on the day he pulled out. So, right? Remember that on day 1 he lost and came up doing the because he
oh, that's right. That's right. Ouch.
And now here it is 8 weeks later, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm back again." Oh God.
Gosh, that's just unforgiving.
But he's 32, 33 years old at this point.
See, he's ancient now, so
maybe he's not quite that old, but he's he's past his prime, and now riddled with injuries. So,
gosh, yeah, that's.
But like we say, he's down there at the bottom with a bunch of other people who are probably not going to do well, and it's a good as good a spot as any for him to set up a comeback. Maybe maybe take a shot at it again. Kind of like we're talking about with Onokatsu. Maybe if
Yeah.
he's healthy enough, just beat up on people around him, and then hope that he can get lucky and wiggle his way into a playoff for the U show.
I mean, I don't even. It is going to be weird to see how this all plays out.
Man, look at Nishikigi down there at the bottom. He was 6-9, and they didn't promote him to Juryo.
Ouch.
That's how bad the top of Juryo was.
Yeah, no, it was.
Right, there just weren't other people. Although it seems really weird, right? People that went down, like Chiyoshima was 5-5-5, but right, that's bad.
Yeah.
Tadafuji was 5-10. That's bad. Asanoyama 3-2. I mean, I guess those are the first three you've got to demote. But Nishikifuji was ranked Maegashira 17. He didn't even make it to the cusp. He didn't even come to my house on Sunday. He wasn't 7-7. He was 6-9 and did not get demoted. That's something you don't see very often.
Right.
We got Ura. Was Maegashira 4, was 6-9 and only got demoted one rank.
So why the disparity? I mean, it's just a matter of.
I think this is one of those tournaments where there was a lot of politicking involved in the ranking.
Yeah.
I'm looking at another one here. Nishikigi at Maegashira 11 was 5-10 and only dropped to Maegashira 14.
Huh. This is when the shadowy organizations, leave their imprint on the festivities.
Hokuto Fuji was 6-9 and only dropped a half rank. He was Maegashira 13 East. This time he's Maegashira 13 West. That's your punishment for going 6-9. I mean,
okay, well, yeah. What's going on here? What is this about? Is it?
Well, I mean, all of these things come in the way that it's an art and not a science is that what you are doing has to be weighed against what the other people above and below you are doing, right? In order for you to, there's an expectation that about half the people are going to do bad and half the people are going to do good, and most of them are going to be around the middle. But when you have a time when everyone in one section does terribly, and the people below them, no one does great. It becomes, that's. I think the Sumo Association would rather have this unexpectedly slow downturn than an unexpectedly big jump. Right. It's better to have, and I'm guessing here, it's better to have Nishikifuji hang on at Maegashira 17 than promote someone up from Juryo who was only 8-7 and was ranked Juryo 4, right, or something like that, right? And even other things like what was I going to say? Like, boop, 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 boo, like Ura, right? Not enough people below him coming up, so bump him half a level. It's people like him anyway, right? There's the politics coming into it too. We want him to have fights against the top level guys because people like him and they go crazy for that stuff. And there's no one, all the other people around him, they're all those red lines going down.
Yeah.
You can't, and the green lines coming up are already pretty steep.
They are very steep.
If you needed more people coming up that high, you'd be seeing that kind of angle coming out of Juryo up through the ceiling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a very good point. Very good point.
So, I mean, there is necessarily
ta titita.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's necessarily a bit of fudging and gamesmanship that has to go in doing this. There's an amount of it that is quote unquote scientific. If you have this score, you should expect to drop X, or you should expect to gain Y. Um, but it's expect.
Yeah.
You should not. It's not a rock solid lock because other things have to be taken into account. And then once that's true, anyone who's got a political axe to grind can step in there and put that thumb on the scale too. So
I'm looking forward to seeing how some of this is going to shake out, and I'm particularly I want to pay particular attention to the people who received some sort of dispensation behind the
yeah.
scenes to not get their their
Well, I
due
mean,
drop.
one of the questions. I mean, this is way too early to start thinking about this too hard. But if we're right, and Kirishima and Taka Keisho is gonna be out and gonna do badly, he at the very least is going to drop out of Sekiwake. Now, right
Yeah.
now we've got 4 Sekiwake because we've had 2 of the Ozeki fail into Sekiwake instead of earning their way up. And we saw how long it took for that to shake out last year, right? When we had 4 Sekiwake and 4 Komusubi.
Yeah.
After the 2023 summer when there was a big COVID scare or not scare, but outbreak that took a lot of people out.
A scary outbreak. Yeah.
They fixed it by making 4 Sekiwake and 4 Komusubi, and it took 8 months for that to shake out and to get back to the normal, anything close to the normal one, and of 2 each. And now our Ozeki dropping down means suddenly we've got 4 Sekiwake again. So when I say when, presume I'm right, and
Yeah.
let's just presume I'm right.
Why not?
And if Takakeisho fails out and fails out badly, do you let Daisho or Hiradomi plug into that 4th Sekiwake spot, or do you just let it go away? Because right now they are roadblocked. They're double roadblocked because there's too many Sekiwake. But they keep having winning records anyway. Look at Hiradomi, 10-5, doesn't move at all. He's just straight across because Daisho was ranked ahead of him and got a Kachikoshi. So Hiradomi doesn't get to pass him because Daisho had a winning record. So they just sit there.
Well, now that does make a little bit of sense just in terms of the seniority of it all. Yeah. But worth noting in any event.
So the question is if Takakeisho is going to make a spot open at Sekiwake's second tier, but Sekiwake, do you let one of those guys come up and take it and then perpetuate the fact that you're going to have too many Sekiwake for a while?
I just feel like you do, honestly. I just feel like it's, it just something seems really unfair about that, not doing that.
I mean, historically, the answer is no, you don't.
Oh, is it really? Interesting. Okay.
But in recent history, the answer is more likely to be yes, you do.
Right. Oh, hey, real quick, Stan, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm looking at our Facebook chat, and Ruby Ruth says, about 9 minutes ago, says, hi, I just saw a news article that Terano Fuji is out for the September Basho.
Yes.
From Kyoto News. That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
I know, David, my voice does sound a little rough today, and I think I'm running at a low ebb today, so I apologize for my energy being weird, and my throat is a little scratchy. Stan makes us do a lot of singing before we start the program.
You don't look so good. I mean, you don't look as good as you usually do.
I know. I seem a little weak, like a mere mist of a man.
Yeah. Were you about to say something else?
Nothing of import.
Okay.
Nothing that couldn't be skipped with prejudice. Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is it's a really weird set of ups and downs here between July and September.
Yeah.
And like I say, we should expect that. I think the top part, we're not going to see any shifts. I I expect that. Well, first of all, Terunofuji is going to stay at the top. I expect that Kotazakura is going to do better than Hoshoryu, no matter what that means. I think that's how it's going to, you know, that's how it's going to be. And
Yeah.
so we're going to have that. Those three green straight lines are going to. I think we should expect for the November tournament to see that again. Um, whether
You know,
Abi can get his Kachikoshi and Onosato, and I mean, if as long as those people at the top keep winning right now,
yeah.
it's going to create that wall of green lines that we've talked about before when we were looking at the gear shift era
Yeah.
conversations, and theoretically that's shows more strength. Right? You've got everyone at the top is winning; they're all winning, and so they're
Right.
maintaining spot, or they're only losing by very low amounts, and so they're switching a little bit. Like Onosato might leapfrog Abi, but I don't think that's. I don't know. Abi being one of our question marks, I'm not sure what's going to happen there. But
I was just going to ask what we thought Abi would be up to, just in general. But
that whole
yeah.
back thing, it leaves is just a huge question mark to me.
Yeah.
He the the statement of I thought I was going to have to retire.
That's heavy. I mean, that's like,
That's pretty
it hurt so
bad.
bad I thought I
And
was
so
done with. Yeah, that's
yeah,
wild.
I couldn't move. I could not get up and walk. That's how bad my back hurt. Wow. I mean, it's certainly feasible that that was just a bad twist, and rest and acupuncture took care of it, and it won't plague him ongoing. But what if it isn't? What if it is something bad?
Right. And sometimes you got to just believe what they tell you.
Right.
Like,
Right.
yeah. That is, that's a pretty bold thing to say, to not mean it,
Yeah.
especially, as it relates to being an
Yeah.
elite,
The-
sumo
I
wrestler.
I had to sleep at the Heya for 3 days because I was afraid my kids would jump on me.
That's how fragile the guy was. That's,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, and also it's just one of those things where, you don't, it's not like bouncing back. You know what I mean? It's not
Right.
like, you're just going to ice up, your leg or whatever. It's your back. It's holding all
Yeah.
your stuff together. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the reason why I'm uncertain about Abi.
Yeah.
Beyond that, someone I was reading was looking at him, and his he tends not to do well in September. I think was what came up.
Oh, really? Just
Uh,
a just bad time of the cycle for him,
you know,
or?
they like the sumo punditry, sumo reporting really likes to find trends, annual trends. This guy always does well in Osaka.
Yeah, 'cause, it almost describes
Like,
some astrological
yeah,
significance to
yeah.
it. To the yeah.
Um,
Interesting.
so there's a lot of reporting to that, and you look at Terunofuji won that tournament in Nagoya where he did. That's where Hakuho won his last tournament, and blah blah blah. This is the in fact, this tournament here in September is the fourth anniversary of his first tournament as a Yokozuna. He got promoted in
Oh
September.
yeah. Okay.
So there's another thing. Look at those kind of things, and what I mean. I put a lot less stress, a lot less belief in that than probably most of the sumo world, and that's just my take on it. I think it's a little weird to say that, because so three of the tournaments are in the same place in Tokyo. Like maybe the out of town ones, particularly if you do badly. Like if you do badly in Nagoya, well, it's the middle of the heat, the middle of the summer heat, and you're in a strange place you only go to once a year. But I find it much harder to believe that you show up in this strange city unless it's your hometown. Then I do
Right.
put a little if it's your hometown tournament. A lot of people particularly for the Kyushu tournament. A lot of people from around there, and the Osaka tournament in March. They're coming back, and they are, their fan club is all there, their families around there, and I see that. But when there isn't that kind of explanation to really fall back on, when it's just a place or time of year thing.
Yeah, it's hard to really lean into that as some kind of factual,
But I mean, sports fans of all stripe like to do that, and the
Sure.
Japanese really do like to find these kinds of. I mean, as a
Superstitious
culture,
and
they've got a lot of little superstitious beliefs that people believe more or less strongly. But I mean, you know about blood type, right?
No, huh?
No, but in Japan, more than your astrological sign, more than your Western astrological sign, your blood type is something that people really kind of have life. They will shift their life around based on.
What's
But
the what's the
that
like that is
people of particular blood types have particular
okay, yeah,
things
that
they're
is
good
like the
at,
horoscope.
and that people of different blood types do or don't get along very well and are supportive of one another. They're, I'm guessing this is probably still true. Again, part of a part of the problem for me is that my hands-on experience is now 30 years out of date. But when I was there
Right.
in the 90s, it was still very much true that a lot of businesses would arrange who sat next to who based on, among other things, blood type.
Wild. That's interesting. I did not know that.
It's like, oh, you don't want to see the Leo next to an Aries.
Yeah.
Don't put AB negative next to O positive. Oh no, they'll never get any work done.
Do they ascribe like is it sort of the you've got the blood of the monkey or the
Nope,
blood of the
nope.
snake? You're just typo negative. You don't get along with anyone.
Blood typing.
Yeah.
There
Wow.
may in history go back that, but I mean, blood typing itself is not hasn't been around long enough for this to be an ancient custom.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Interesting. I'm going to
Anyway,
read up on that. Yeah. I'm going to find out what
yeah.
kind of blood you are.
I ain't telling you. So there we go. I think we can pull that down. We're all set for a good tournament starting on Sunday.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I feel like I'm going to learn a lot about these rikishi. I feel like I'm going to see what happens. Sort of that when the cat's away, the mice will play.
Yeah.
All the cats are hurt, so a lot of mice to play. If I can,
all the cat and kittens are out already.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, interesting.
So again, anyone who is watching this in replay, if it is not already noon on Saturday, September 7th, then quick, go over to the form that we've linked to for the Fantasy Oyakata game. Get in on it.
Yeah, you're going to see that form up on the YouTube community little section that we've got, and you will also see it.
It's been posted like 3 times in the Facebook group.
It'll haunt your dreams. Yeah. So yeah, do it. Do it,
please. It's so much. It's a lot of fun.
It is fun. Yeah, it is.
I mean, I think, you know what, I tell you, Troy, I find it very interesting hearing you talk about it, not both on the show and when we're doing our production meetings, about how it's helped you. It's given you a reason to look at
absolutely
at what's going on in a different way, in a deeper way, and with a different focus.
When you come to, for me, and if you're new like me, friends, you will feel new for the next decade. That's such is the way when you're getting into a, how many thousands of years?
2,000-year-old sport, yeah.
Yeah, so it's got some time, but it can be a fire hose of information. Like, it's just so much to take in and to understand but the Fantasy Oyakata for me helps me zero in focus on that, and then use that as a kind of bellwether for what I'm paying attention to. And then the other stuff gets easier for me to acknowledge, but I wasn't trying to take it all in at once.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the thing that if I'm gonna guess on the particular thing that helped you about it, you have not had a difficult time focusing on our higher ranked people, but
Yeah.
you often will say there's all these other names. I don't know who the heck they are. What's going on here?
100%. Yeah.
And but with this game, you're picking one in each of four sections of the bond. So people who 3 sections that you may not normally focus on, just one
Yeah.
guy, but because you're focusing on that one guy, you're seeing the other people that they're fighting that you also would.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
yeah. It really is a
because
nice
of the way
entry
things
into.
flow up and down, you may see them a couple of different times. So yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, make sure you check that out. And if you're on YouTube, head on over to the little community tab next to the live tab, and you will see "Do It" with a link.
Do it.
Do it. Do it. Do it. It'll be fun. And
Let's say, like we said before, it's free, and there's nothing to lose, and there's nothing to win except a good feeling.
That's right. Yeah, and maybe you will do so well. I would appreciate it if you didn't muck around with my what's next for me, because I'm headed for number 1. So if you could stick to the mid range, good, that'd be great. But if you have to be better than us, then sure, come flex. But yeah, I'm looking forward to
it. We will be back on Tuesday evening with a show about what happens on days 1 to 3. It's going to be the same format as last tournament, where we will I'll be putting up a list of links and time signatures, and we are not going to be showing the videos ourselves.
No,
we talk about it.
No, yeah, not again, not like this.
Yeah. But also every day on the Facebook group, I make a little post with my little thoughts at the start of the day and a link to a video that will show you all of the day's matches in somewhere between 15 minutes and half an hour. So you get the whole thing caught up and enjoy some sumo.
That's right. A Stan's Digest, if you will.
Enjoy a Stan Digest.
Indubitably. Okay, well, is it that time?
I think, unless you've got something else you want to say.
I just want to say hello to everybody over on Facebook. Thanks for joining in the convo, and as well on the YouTubes. We're sorry that Facebook insists on keeping you away, but you're just right there, and I'm glad that we
love you. It's Mark Zuckerberg that doesn't.
He just likes your face. He wants to wear it. Yeah. He wants a human face too.
He's trying to find a good one.
He is, so don't get too close. But certainly stick close with us, and we'll get you sorted. We'll sumo him to something. All right. Well, so what do you think about me?
I think maybe it's time to grab them drums.
All right, here we go.
You have been listening to The Sumo Show, a live weekly podcast about the art and sport of sumo. Your hosts tonight have been Stan Brown and Troy Hewitt. Production by Troy Hewitt. Sumoliering by Stan Brown. And initial charge by Tachi Troy. Until Tuesday evening, when we'll be going over the first matches from this tournament, we say, Ja mata ne!
Bye!